Is it weird? Is this a sign of us getting older that I've never wanted to ice fish in my entire life until now? All of a sudden, I've never wanted to do that in my entire life until this rewatch.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now I'm like, this sounds fun.
I don't even really need to fish.
No, I actually don't want to fish. I just want to sit in there.
Yeah, I just want to sit there
with a little stove going
and like be cold, but be like warm enough to be like just enjoy it and kick back with like coffee or cocoa and then beers. That's what I'm fishing for. Like Max just later, like caught one.
Well, hello there, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Confused Breakfast Podcast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Sure do.
The excitement of walking down the aisles, browsing the names and the artwork, and finally picking out a movie. Yeah. Sure, it's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your couch, but there was something truly special about digging yourself out of a snowstorm and making that trip, picking a movie out by hand, and watching when you got home. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. I'm your host, Mike Schulte, and joining me as always, a moron and a putz, Shaun Pryor and AJ Venz. How the heck are you?
I would give my life if I could hear Walter Matthau call me a putz.
Yeah.
If he just goes putz.
Yeah.
If Jack Lemmon would call me moron, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
If he was just like, if he was outside my house randomly and he was just said, "Oh, good morning, dickhead," I'd be completely fine with that. Yes. I'd be like, "Mr. Lemmon, it's great honor."
I seriously don't like you. I know, it's fine.
No.
Do you think they're on Cameo?
I'm sure they're still there.
Oh.
No.
It's just.
Oh, that's it for us, you guys. It's been a great run. Thank you so much for being here.
What?
Huh?
So?
Cameo?
What? What?
What?
All right, boys. On this episode, we discuss a movie that solidified one of the greatest on-screen comedy duos of all time, their 6th appearance out of 10 total movies together, the 20th highest grossing movie of the year, grossing nearly the same amount as Ace Ventura, if you can believe it or not.
Nice.
A movie featuring the best of enemies and the worst of friends. We're, of course, talking about 1993's Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, farts.
It's Wednesday morning. It's early. Way too early for you. You're probably sitting in traffic, like me. Why not have your coffee and bacon with the Confused Breakfast Boys? Good morning, boys.
Morning. Dang it. So this movie was chosen directly by our Patreon members. 49%. We put up 5 Thanksgiving-ish movies on the docket. 49% of the vote was Grumpy Old Men. It defeated Son-in-Law at 32%. I thought
that's
Son-in-Law
kind of amazing.
I thought Son-in-Law was the pick, but the other 3 were Dutch, Beethoven, and You've Got Mail. I will be watching Dutch this Thanksgiving. So many people. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Okay. So many people have been like, Dutch, Thanksgiving, Dutch. So. Yeah. It's on my docket. I'm going to go ahead and watch it. Maybe it'll win next year. If you don't agree with this, the only way to help is to join our Patreon. You vote on upcoming movies, bonus weekly audio content, private Discord server, and more. There's like 100 hours of bonus content at this point ready for you. You click it, boom, you go. Patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. There is a Christmas movie vote coming up soon, so if you don't want the wrong Christmas movie to fall into the review, you got to join.
Guys, there's not only just a vote that goes on, there's an entire debate that goes on in the comments of Patreon.
Yes.
You can sway votes, swing the votes. You can just pull a complete upset.
If you voted for
rig
Dutch,
the machines.
Yeah, if you voted for Dutch and then you logged back in, you're like, Dutch is not going to win.
Yeah.
I need to throw my vote somewhere else. You can do that.
You can do that too. Revote. All right? It's your fault if you don't like this movie.
Die Hard Is a Christmas movie.
All right, calm down.
Well, if you're new to this podcast, we will be reviewing this movie with a modern eye, but in order to properly do that, we have to discuss it with pure nostalgia so we can strip it away.
Yeah, get it out of here.
AJ, start with you. Tell us the first time you saw this movie and what your nostalgic rating is, bro.
Nope, never seen it.
Whoa.
NA for AJ.
For real, dude?
No,
Wow.
I've never seen Grumpy Old Men. I can remember specifically on TBS whenever it'd say, Grumpy Old Men coming up at 8 o'clock, 7 Central. And I would just be like, nope, I'm not going to watch that because it's about grumpy old men, and I don't want to deal with that as
I'm
a
not
child.
old.
I'm not old. I'm not a man. I'm a young boy, and I'm not grumpy yet, so I don't identify with any part of this. I'm an NA.
Shaun, what about you, man?
I think my dad loves this movie. I'd have to check on that, but he actually gave me, when I was moving into my apartment, he gave me a DVD VHS double TV tube set, and I would use that just to watch the VHSs I had, and inside the VHS was a copy of Grumpy Old Men. But I remember him liking this movie a lot, and I remember watching it and just being like, "Oh, I want to turn on Ed and Eddie," and so I did. But back then, it's like AJ said, it's about grumpy old men. Why would I, as a kid, want to watch that? But I did watch it, and I'd probably have to say back then I just wasn't into it. I'm gonna say a 2.
A 2 for Shaun. This was a VHS movie for us. We bought this was like the height of the VHS era. We owned this. Our family watched it all the time. Grandma Schulte would come up with her amazing laugh and would laugh her ass off at this movie. This was right around the time. Yeah.
Couple of heartthrobs, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau coming
like,
back for a resurgence. There he is.
There
he is.
There he
Silver
is.
Fox.
This was right around the era where I moved from St. Louis to Cedar Rapids, so we had the Dodge Caravan with the middle seat taken out and one of those VHS TVs that, it was like Dumb and Dumber, Grumpy Old Men, and the Santa Claus was like all that we watched on our drive back and forth. This movie was hilarious. Looking back, I definitely didn't get some of the sex jokes, but I just thought it was funny. I liked that my parents liked it, so I was an 8.5.
Wow.
So, taking AJ out of that, that's going to take us to a 5.25 on the nostalgic meter, which, again, we don't put much stock into that.
No.
But a 5.25 is slightly better than 50 First Dates and slightly worse than Tremors. Very bottom. I mean, we're talking bottom 6, bottom 7.
Wow.
Nostalgically of any movie we've done.
No, I get that about Tremors. Yeah, I'd rather deal with Tremors than Grumpy Old Men. Yes.
That's true.
Cool.
Which they probably have.
They probably are dealing with it too.
Yeah.
So
It's a shame.
Yeah. So next it's time to learn all the pertinent, important details of the movie. Shaun, that's your job. Let's hear what you got, man.
Let's go. Produced by Richard Berman and John Davis. Written by Mark Steven Johnson. Also wrote the sequel, Grumpier Old Men, Daredevil with Ben Affleck, Simon Birch, and Jack Frost with Michael Keaton, which we will be covering.
We will. It might be our Christmas voting. You never know.
I hope so.
Daredevil, I didn't place that in the warm, family-friendly genre, but here we are.
It's there.
There we go.
It's there now.
Cool.
Edited by Bonnie Kohler. Music by Alan Silvestri. Directed by Donald Petrie. He also directed Miss Congeniality, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh.
Such masterpieces
Damn.
as this. Jack Lemmon. Sorry, here's the cast. Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, Anne Margaret, Burgess Meredith, Daryl Hannah, Kevin Pollak, Christopher McDonald, and Ossie Davis. Writer Mark Steven Johnson was a graduate at Winona State University and had sold his script to producers Berman and Davis, and the duo went to try and sell the story to produce the movie. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis were considered for John and Max, but turned down the opportunity. Jack Lemmon was on board almost immediately, but Walter Matthau was hesitant. With some edging and encouraging from Lemmon and Mathau's son, Walter agreed to do the project. Sophia Loren was the first choice for Ariel, but Anne Margaret was cast, and in the sequel, Sophia Loren got her shot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Sophia Loren wanted the job, but Anne Margaret took it?
I'm pretty sure she might have turned it down because I think she was the first choice, or maybe she
gotcha.
was busy doing another project. But then, she got on the sequel.
She's like, I'm gonna see how this pans out,
Smart move.
and then I'm gonna join in on the next round.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't think it was going to do well. Like even Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau were like, it's just a fun time.
Whatever.
We'll just
Let's just get the whole band back together.
I'll just go with my pal to dreary, Arctic-soaked Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Cool.
The script was rewritten to heighten the comedic aspects. The film began production in January of 1993 in Minnesota. The crew had to hold off actually shooting until February because of the lack of snow. During filming, Walter Matthau contracted pneumonia and had to have production be halted. The production was wrapped on June 23rd, 1993. Grumpy Old Men opened on Christmas Day in 1993 and was a big hit. On a budget of $35 million, the film made $70 million at the box office and would garner a sequel. That is all I got.
Kind of still disappointed there wasn't a grumpiest Old Men.
Yeah, I know, right?
Didn't they say that there was talks of one, and then I think they just kind of...
I don't know.
I have the perfect casting for grumpiest Old Men. I'll let you know.
Oh,
later.
you're gonna save that?
Okay. I'll tell you later.
So you're saying the listener needs to hold on and keep listening to understand what you're about to say.
So they can get the gem of information I'm going to give them. That's correct.
Hold on.
It's super important.
You're going to love it.
This is where we need the soundbite of Shaun going, oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there soon.
We'll get there.
Professional podcaster over here. Well, we know you have at least one friend who loves this movie just as much as you do. There's literally a little share icon on whatever app you use where you can just hit it, and then you can direct message this to a friend. If this is your dad, your brother, your buddy, you're like, oh, we used to watch this all the time, share it to him. Just go, you should hear these cool guys. They're awesome. That is one of the best ways you can support this podcast. You can also check out confusedbreakfast.com. All of our ratings are there. You can get merch. You can do all that fun stuff. And if you're caught up, obviously go back to our Patreon. Like we said, patreon.com/confusedbreakfast, bonus audio, all that fun stuff. Up next, AJ does the research for us, hooks us up with ratings, reviews of critics and fans alike. What do you got, man?
Mike Schulte dropping truth bombs. We're about to go to torpedoes from the tomato meter.
Torpedo meter.
Torpedo tomatoes.
I almost said it. Torpedo tomato.
Tomato torpedo. Whatever. 64% on the tomato meter for grumpy old men. That is the equivalent of a grumpy.
Well, that is absolute middle of the pack of any movie we've done. It's slightly worse than Home Alone, slightly better than The Sandlot. Is where the critics feel like this movie landed.
That's like asking your grandpa to watch your dogs, and your grandpa just responding with, ugh. So you don't know if like they want to or not.
Yeah.
And then they just do.
It's just a thumbs up.
Yeah.
That there's zero.
Cool.
Because that's all they can text.
Yeah, it's you writing a paragraph and then it's just thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
That's the equivalent of this.
You're like, Grandpa, was that emphatic or not? I have no idea.
Grandpa, also, can you make sure you figure out the Wi-Fi password? I'm coming over in a week.
Yeah.
I don't know what
you're
Wi-Fi
gonna need
is.
to find that little piece of paper.
Well, I was hoping you'd do that when you came over. So. Also, the DVD player's not working. I can't get the VHS player to play the DVD. God.
The Hit-A-Me cable is broken.
Oh, okay. Well, audiences thought it was a little bit better at 74%, and IMDb coming in at 7.0.
You get how many guesses of all the movies? We've done like 100 and something movies. How many movies have we done that have been in a 7.0?
At least 50.
We've done
half the movies.
Half the movies. Of all the movies, I would say 30 of them are a 7.0.
You guys are over exaggerating.
Okay.
It is 10 total.
Okay.
So this movie ties with 9 other movies. Many of the equivalents here: Wayne's World, Happy Gilmore, Uncle Buck, and Austin Powers is what the audiences feel this movie is tied with.
All those movies have a lot of energy to them.
So a lot of the greatest movies ever
basically
are just 7.0.
7.0s.
But if you're 6.9, you didn't make the cut, and you're now officially trash. All right, got it.
7.1 masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Let's see here, guys. Jay Carr at the Boston Globe. He's making around as much as Raj these days. 50 out of 100. The trouble with grumpy old men is the patronizing attitude, ageism really, that takes a too broad approach to their geriatric world and renders it plastic. It is too cute and sanitized to allow its performers much in the way of opportunity.
Okay.
Basically saying you've washed away anything or any table for Lemon and Matthau to sit at.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. USA Today gave it a 63 out of 100. The film barely skims the grimmer realities of growing old. sickness, money problems, loneliness, and death. Still, you couldn't think of two better Grinches to spend the holiday with than Lemon and Mathau.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost
I
feel
agree.
like if this movie didn't have them in it, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there.
Oh.
Hold on, soundbite.
Professional podcast.
That's
No, soundbite. Give it to us.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get there.
Recorded. Got it.
All right, guys. Let's see. I'm kind of all over the place with these, and I wanted to get some short ones out of the way. The first one is a 10 out of 10. They just said it's a hoot. Okay,
That's it.
and it's
Okay.
they had a small tidbit. I like the bit with the men in it. Made it more special by the fact that they were grumpy.
And old. You forgot that.
A 6 out of 10 could have been. This is, I should probably end with. No, I'm not going to.
Nope.
6 out of 10 could have been more believable, said Mookie.
Mookie?
2020.
This is Mookie
Oh, by the way,
Blaylock,
by
famous
the way,
basketball player.
by the way, warning, spoilers.
Oh, no.
And Margaret would never hook up with Homeboy.
It's very true.
That is all. I think this is like a whole conversation of people sitting around like a table. So it's like Shaun asked me what I thought of it. What I thought.
What'd you think of Grumpy Old Men, dude?
I don't know, man. It could have been more believable.
Yeah?
You know? Yeah.
I just didn't buy.
I guess
You
I
know?
feel that, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, Anne Margaret never hook up with Homeboy.
Bro, dude, seriously?
that's all.
That was my thoughts exactly.
See?
Like, I can't... If I had to stand somebody, it
Yeah.
would not be Jack Lemmon, bro.
It would not be Jack.
She's way too hot for that.
Yeah, dude.
She's more Walter Matthau.
Whoa. She's Burgess Meredith.
7 out of 10. To me, it was more of a sweet slice of life movie instead of a comedy, said Plankton Rules.
Have we had him on here before?
No.
That sounds familiar.
Not many people have plankton.
He's a big SpongeBob fan.
Plankton rules.
But he gave it a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed Grumpy Old Men, but was surprised as it seemed less funny than I expected, and was more a poignant slice of life film, especially at the end. This is not a complaint, just an observation.
I love it.
Gracias. Do you guys want good or bad to end it?
Bad.
Bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always, Shaun.
3 out of 10. Humor runs cold, said Ron L. Salas. The simplest problem with Grumpy Old Men is that it isn't very funny. It mostly plays off the animus between Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau's characters. Objectively, it isn't executed very well. But if you don't happen to be a fan of Lemmon, the film's problems only double.
Okay.
If you tell me that you're not a fan of Jack Lemmon, you can suck my grumpy old pole.
Yeah.
Okay?
Why? What could you possibly be not a fan of?
Yeah.
With Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon, I have found over the years, has become one of my favorite like comedic actors.
Yeah.
Who is just throughout time has just given us an all-time awesome performance.
100%.
Every time he's on. So.
Every 12 Angry Men, I love that movie. Like and that movie's like a courtroom drama, and he shouldn't be funny in it, and he's super hilarious.
Yeah. I think I love Jack Lemmon. I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but yeah, that's all I got for you guys right now.
All right.
Well, before we dissect this movie scene by scene,
That's me.
I want to tell you how excited I am for Thanksgiving. Such a warm and cozy holiday. It gets overlooked every year. It's in between Halloween and Christmas, but like Halloween is great. Thanksgiving really is like a fun, cozy, warm holiday. Ever since I could drink legally, of course, I've always loved the camaraderie of sitting around a big table with my closest family, sharing drinks, sharing stories. When I was first able to share in this tradition, it was always wine, like my parents used to do. Then as I entered my late 20s as a white male who was eventually going to get into podcasting, I, of course, wanted to bring craft beers to the table and talk about what being a hipster truly means to me and how thankful I am.
This one's got a hint of chocolate. It goes well with the cranberries.
Dad, would you like to try this?
Ooh, this is a little bit medicinal. I love it.
So am I.
But my 30s were spent developing a love for whiskey, and whiskey pairs so well with the vibe of Thanksgiving. Obviously, the only choice for whiskey on your Thanksgiving table this year is Cedar Ridge whiskey. Cedar Ridge is in in our backyard here in Swisher, Iowa, and they truly make the best whiskey in the entire world. You might be able to stop at your local store and distributor pick some up. If not, you can go online to cedarridgewhiskey.com, order some straight to your door. I recommend the quintessential American single malt. That is what I'm calling for the tables. Okay. I think the quintessential American single malt should be on your table. It's perfect to drink neat or on the rocks. If you love Scotch, try this. If you don't love Scotch, try this, because it's the best of all worlds.
Fair enough.
Really, drink responsibly as always. Thanks, Cedar Ridge. Send us your stories or reviews of the whiskey, and we will definitely chat about it on air. We are grateful for this awesome company for supporting this podcast. CedarRidgeWhiskey.com.
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 Well, my dudes, it's colder than a witch's titty out there. Before we start farting razor blades, we need to put all of our focus on figuring out how to take the skin boat to Tuna Town.
Damn it! Why did you have to take the best one for the...
Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Here we go.
Was that a Burgess Meredith?
Oh, my God.
Like one
yes.
of the outtakes?
Oh, yes.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. In Wabasha, Minnesota, retirees John Gustafson and Max Goldman are feuding next-door neighbors. Living alone, they spend their time ice fishing, trading insults, and pulling cruel practical jokes on each other. John is constantly dodging the attempts of IRS agent Elliot Snyder to collect a serious debt. We meet John's daughter Melanie, Max's son Jacob, and the store owner friend named Chuck. I am immediately laughing in this movie. I don't know how well I'm going to strip away the nostalgia of this, but I'm immediately laughing when I see Walter Matthau on screen, like when he's saying, dickhead! Like, immediately I am just drawn into this movie to be like, this is fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, I agree with you that I think that their chemistry together is awesome. I will concede to that because, like, immediately when they come out and, like, greet each other, he says, "What's up, dickhead?" It's just like, I love these guys. I love these guys so much.
There's an obvious chemistry that has been garnered over the years of them working together.
Over 5 previous movies? Is this their sixth one?
Is their 6th out of 10 movies that they've been like on-screen duos together.
Yeah, and the obvious being The Odd Couple.
Yep.
It's probably their most maybe where you go to, but you just it's just an automatic chemistry that you get. And a lot of the reviews that I read, like, leading into this, is like, they were just reduced to some potty humor and just being just old men, just taking advantage of them being old and saying things that teenagers would say. And it's like, what's wrong with that?
They're the best ones to do that.
It's called a juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Get familiar. Please.
I mean,
grow the fuck up.
I could agree if it was like some actors that I didn't have as much care for than Lemon and Matthau, but
or that weren't comedic genius duo,
right?
You know,
exactly. But like
royalty.
If of anybody that I want to like hear tell fart jokes or call someone a dickhead, it's Walter Matthau and Jock Lemon.
And just their faces, just how funny. Like, Walter Matthau has the most recognizable funny face of all time.
Huge
and
nose.
He looks real rough in HD. Like, he's not looking he's not looking great on the screen here. But it's interesting because these guys mostly would clash in their roles. Mm-hmm. Their roles were always that, like, headbutting role, but they were, like, the best of fucking friends in real world.
Which I love to hear.
Yes. But and that's so important almost because, like, think about how you and your friends act among each other. Like, sometimes a term of endearment is like making fun of each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were the whole trip we were out in Oregon. We were like, Shaun, why the fuck are you so mad? You know, like we're making, like, whatever. We would just make fun of each other. That is a term of. I hope you realize that I fucking love you. Yeah. And that's a term of endearment.
No, I can't be offended.
It takes time to become that comfortable.
Yes.
You know,
where you can call someone an insult and know that they're not going to punch you.
Yeah, or the fact that you just know that the moment you call somebody moron, they're going to call you putz.
Yeah.
It's expected. And if they don't, you'd be like, dude, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just a testament to their chemistry and their long relationship.
I do have to say, too, beginning of these scenes when the IRS agent is after him. This is exactly how I act when I see the mailman. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
The
like,
mailman?
I don't want any news. I don't want to know about like who I owe this time. I don't want to know what debts I have. Like I'm a sucker for those. Like, oh, you just bought a house. Well, here you got to pay us, and it's
You owe
like
us this.
some random. I texted you. I'm like, do I pay attention to this? And
No.
you're like, no. I'm like, okay, good. But I'm a sucker for that. So I don't like mail.
Sean's climbing out his window as the mailman
Yeah.
comes up. I love.
I'm right here, dude.
And there's the Midwestern human. I know a lot of our listeners are from the Midwest, but many are from around the world, around the country. But that perfect drop of the ope in there from Jack Lemmon when the IRS agent falls, they're like, better one. I mean, that is a Midwestern dialogue right there. Oh, so you mind if I squeeze past you there? Sorry about that.
Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Are you going? Oh, excuse me. Yep, excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
If you've seen our little teaser for what we have coming up for the Goonies, we are inside the Jeep. Once the sheriff rolls up that we hired, pretty much, you can hear me in the background say "oh,"
without planning on it.
No, it just happens.
Just happens.
It is interesting to note that these guys had not been on screen together for 10 years before this movie.
Yeah.
So it had been a little while, and you can see how they were probably. I think they had kind of fallen from stardom a bit, and it was like, oh yeah, those guys, So it'd been 10 years. That's why they maybe thought this movie wouldn't do so well, and they were just kind of like, man, whatever. It sounds fun. Sounds like a good premise. Let's go do it.
It's like a 10-year reunion to them coming back, and like they don't know what to expect. It's probably gonna flop. Who cares? It'll be fun for us. And then it just it's very well received.
Yeah, it's kind of different to watch this movie as an adult than it was as a kid. A lot of the kid watching of this was just like funny jokes and call them that. But there's a lot. We'll deal with it as we go through this whole thing. There's a lot of underlying like sadness to this movie. Like it portrays that both of these men like hate each other, but they need each other. They are extremely lonely people. They're Jack Lemmon's playing chess against himself. Walter Matthau's talking to the television. Like it really does portray that like retired, nobody comes to visit me. I don't have anything to do. I'm just counting down the time till I can go to bed so I can go ice fishing alone tomorrow. You know, like there is a little underlying sadness throughout this whole movie that I got more upon this rewatch than I did as a kid.
I agree with that. And like as we'll see later in the film, especially like Walter Matthau, and if Jack Lemmon had done it, like if an old person tears up, I'm done for.
Get the fuck
out
of here.
Oh my God, like everyone needs to be sad if this man is sad or this lady is sad. I hate that. But yeah, it does come across very well, and they do portray that very well. But also being 31 now and watching this,
you're fucking old, dude.
I'm just like, I relate so hard to some of this shit. Like just like being annoyed at the most mundane things, like a mailman or snow. Even just like God,
looking out the window, and be like, oh God, did I cover the grill? Did I? Oh, I didn't get any salt for the sidewalk. Oh.
Or like the guy in Trick or Treat, the ending. He's like, he just doesn't want anybody to visit him. Like anybody comes around, like, do we really have to make plans today? Fuck.
Oh, I have to shovel. I have to shovel my car out tomorrow.
I'm becoming a curmudgeon.
A curmudgeon.
And someone needs to break me out of it.
Nah, we're not gonna, man. We like it.
All right, cool.
Well, and it's fun that like the old age. I love how they really poke on how older people are of that age range, like talking about different ways to die, and like hearing that someone died in their sleep and being like, awesome.
What a way to go.
What a way to go. Or talking about ailments.
Yeah.
Like that is how none of my grandparents are around anymore. R.I.P. I miss them all, but like hearing them talk about like, oh, I've got to take this medicine for like, oh, I got to take my back pill, like from Christmas Vacation. Yeah. That is the epitome of literally being in your 60s, 70s, 80s and just being like, yeah, I'm talking about all the problems I have.
Before I take my back pill, I got to take my hip pill, because if I take my back pill without my hip pill, my hips are going to hurt.
You got a strained sciatica that would make your lumbago look like eye strain. It's like just one-upping each other's ailments of just being old.
Exactly.
I'm older than you. No, I'm older. No, I've dealt with more. Ugh. Yeah, that's got to be that's not a great way to to exist, right? I mean,
yeah, no. It can't be.
No.
Yeah, it can't be. What do you think about Daryl Hannah, Melanie, and then Jacob? Who plays Jacob?
Kevin Pollak.
Yeah. What do you think about both them being in this movie?
Kevin Pollak, every time he shows up, I love him. Daryl Hannah, obviously, it's shocking to see her this young, just because she's had more of a career starting like right about here, I think. And so you see her a little bit older, but I mean, honestly, she hasn't really aged. But I like both of them, and I like that they hint at a bit of a history there. I like that about it.
I'm a huge Kevin Pollak fan. He's on that list for me of if he's in something, I'm gonna watch so closely on like while he's on screen, or if he's in it, then I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
You know, I think he just does a great job, and it's the idea. I love this idea that their kids are grown and gone for a long period of time, not just like they just became empty nesters. Yeah. They've been empty nesters and like on their own for 20
Yeah, we're
years.
assuming they're we'll get into that later, and we're assuming their wives have been gone for a while too, and that they've just been living in their houses with no one there for at least 5, 6 to 10 years, right?
Yeah. And I love I like that they're I don't know that it's like the greatest subplot that ever could be or anything, but the sexual tension of children of the kids of the guys who hate each other.
Yeah.
Like it's like this very weird Midwestern Romeo and Juliet kind of thing.
But the parents
they
want them to
love
each happen.
other's kids.
Yeah.
I love that more than I love their story. I think that's the better part of it is that every time Jack sees John sees Jake, he's like, "Oh, Jake, hey, how are you,
my boy?
Hey, Melanie's coming over."
He's like, "Yeah, Melanie's gonna be stopping by." He's like, and I think she's having marital problems. So it's like,
we're real good. Things are great around here. She's having marital problems.
Yeah.
With fucking Mike.
Yeah, stupid Mike. And then even later on, like Max is like, "Oh, you see Melanie? Is she over there? Does she look good? Right?
Come on now. I got some pills I can give you."
Jesus.
Hey, I'm just saying.
There was an interesting note that I did read that when Max was changing John's television, pranking on him, like the funny moment of like changing he's trying to see the lottery. It kept going. There was 3 different Little Caesars commercials.
Dude, it's a big deal back then,
Little
bro.
Caesars was huge.
They must have been a sponsor. They had to
have been.
Dude, did you guys ever get Little Caesars pizza when you were younger?
Oh yeah,
pizza.
Boom. One of you owes each. Never mind. But no, like I remember like Little Caesars pizza. Oh yeah, dude, we're getting Little Caesars pizza tonight. It was like the best thing ever. When you have like your parents have 4 boys and they can spend $15 on pizza and get 3 large pizzas, and then you spring for the crazy bread. You're like, this is a fucking good night, dude.
Did they get a 2-liter? Yeah. Oh shit, we're gonna be off the wall.
2 liters,
dude. Let's do the gallon challenge tonight.
Pepsi and Mountain Dew, God, dude.
Suicide, bro.
Suicide. Graveyard. I threw some of Mom's
What's
Fresca in there too.
What's a graveyard?
A graveyard?
Yeah.
Graveyard is when you're at the fountain, like the fountain drink,
and
you take your cup and you do some of everything.
I thought that was a suicide.
It's the same thing.
Okay, it's just different names.
Yeah, like suicide. I think suicide is the point of like mixing stuff that obviously shouldn't go together, and then you put up with it because you're a kid. You don't want to seem like you're an idiot for doing it. But then a graveyard is like, this is totally on purpose
because
I'm doing
are
everything.
You watching me?
Even the brisk iced tea is going in.
Even the water tap.
Yeah, the water tap too.
The little water spritz. I think it might be called a graveyard because it just looks like mud.
Yeah.
When you get done pouring everything.
Yeah, it's just weird clay-colored mud. Yeah.
Fucking gross. Well, scene 2, John and Max both find themselves attracted to Ariel Truex, a free-spirited English professor who moves in across the street. Chuck has Thanksgiving dinner with Ariel, prompting John and Max to compete for her affections. Chuck dies, and Max discovers John's IRS debt. John begins to spend time with Ariel. Let's take a moment to talk about Burgess Meredith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there? We've talked a lot about like dads and grandpas. Is Burgess Meredith officially in the top 3 of the dad or grandpa that you would love to have in your entire life.
Yes.
This version of him is the best. Like this is what I laugh about, and this is what I think about when I think of grumpy old men. I think of him over everything else in this movie.
Really?
Because of how perfect he is in this role.
He's such a curmudgeon.
Yes.
But
is he?
He's the final boss of curmudgeons. Okay, this is what he is.
I don't think so.
I
don't think he's a curmudgeon.
You don't. He's like, I think he's going through like an end life crisis is what he's doing.
I don't know if it's a crisis.
I think he's already been through it.
Yeah,
an end life realization.
I think he's embracing that at any moment he could just keel over, and so like he's got that like whimsy about him where he's just like doesn't give a fuck about anything. So he'll go to the supermarket and fart in front of anybody.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, and
like
still expect to get laid by the person he farted in
exactly. Like he's hitting on somebody and farts like, oh, sorry about that. Anyway, numbers. Let's talk numbers. I love that, and that's what I want in a grandpa.
I don't know. I have this. I do have this theory, and I just thought of who would be grandpa or Meredith Burgess.
Okay.
Burgess
Meredith.
I know. I was second guessing myself as I said. I'm like, am I saying this backwards?
Burgess Meredith. Yeah, she's super hot. Yeah. Daryl Hannah's in. He's a heartthrob.
Hannah
Daryl Hannah's.
Wow.
He's something. No. So I have thought about this in like this recasting, right? And you know what? I think it should be what you should just call the grumpiest old men.
Okay.
Not grumpy old men revisited.
Okay.
Redone. But I have a recasting of it, and so I think that this person is Jack Lemmon of our generation, and that's Bryan Cranston.
Oh my God.
Think about his mannerisms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I'm in. I'm already
Boom.
in. I don't even care who your next guys are.
You're going to care. Are you ready for this? Because Max would be Jeff Bridges.
Ooh. Shit.
I want this.
The way that he talks, man, it's just like
man.
Yeah.
He's basically just an older dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And now for Ariel,
Okay.
I have 2. I think I would happily take either one.
Okay. Me and Shaun get to decide.
You guys can decide if you
Okay,
want to try.
okay.
If you want to try, it would either be Halle Berry
wow.
or Julianne Moore.
Ooh.
I say it's Halle Berry.
Why not?
Has she been around has she been in anything like in the last 5-10 years
She's
that
been
I can
in
think
a
of?
movie called The Call that didn't do very well, but
I just think that
obviously
either
no
of
one saw
them
it.
Either of them would be
I'm cool with either.
fantastic in this.
Yeah.
Meredith Burgess, I think I'm going
just Meredith.
No. Meredith. What, dude? I'm a huge Rocky fan, and I can't get his name. Mick, the guy who'd play Mick.
Yeah.
Rocky's trainer.
Rocky's trainer, be Anthony Hopkins.
Ooh.
And think back to
His comedic role in Silence of the Lambs.
his comedic role in what's the Brad Pitt flick? Why can't I think of it?
Is it Legends of the Fall?
Legends of the Fall.
Oh,
his amazing comedic role in Legends of the Fall. Don't make me separate you two again. And this would be directed by the Coen brothers and produced by the Farrelly brothers. You're welcome.
Wow.
Okay, here I'll give you there will be a sequel to this movie because it will do so well.
Okay.
And then Halle Berry can be the Jack Lemmon's love interest, and then Julianne Moore can be
Yes.
Yes.
Like in
Walter's-
Grumpier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. So there'll
Yeah.
be 2 of them.
Also, can I put my little producer cap on and put a little spin on this?
Please.
Death is actually coming for them. Like it's a Final
Yeah.
Destination kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like they're kind of avoiding death the whole time, but it's a funny caper.
Things falling behind them.
Yeah.
The snow falling from the top.
But they're not scared of it because they're oblivious to it.
Oblivious or like oblivious at first. Like halfway through the movie, they're like, "Oh, we realize that death is coming for us, and we have to like sacrifice a baby in order for it to stop, or something like
Yeah.
that." I'm just spitballing here.
Brian-
I like it, man.
Yeah, there you go.
I really love
But
it.
yeah, we'll do like the whole like kind of the old versus the young, and so it's literally that.
Yeah.
They have to sacrifice a baby.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Is that what you were? Is that what you were thinking or envisioning?
Well,
or?
not really. Hey, you know what?
Ooh, here's a prop.
And then like a grandfather clock will be like one of the things that kind of like tips over and like might fall on them. Literally Father Time coming after them. You got that belt?
Not yet.
No, keep going.
Sorry. What's the prop?
No, so speaking of how we got on this whole thing, Burgess Meredith, there is a really awesome photo, I'm assuming it is of Burgess Meredith, that is on like the coffee table of Jack Lemmon's house. It's a framed photo of like a young Burgess Meredith. I want that, and I want it hanging on our wall.
I'm next.
Yeah.
I want the fishing pole.
Can you name it?
Yes.
I bet you can.
Okay, wait.
then I
If
can
you
steal
can't,
it.
then AJ can steal it. Yes.
The Green Hornet.
No, you got. That's a foul.
It's
Yeah,
not-
he gets it.
Oh,
He gets it.
sorry.
You didn't give him. You didn't give him a
Deferred.
chance. Yep.
He had all the time in the world.
No, because I was talking.
I was
He
literally
gets
going to
it.
say Mick.
Good. We'll get.
All right, you can. It's
We'll
already
get to the
broken in
point.
half, and you can each have a piece of it.
Did you get to the point I don't have all night? Just sitting. Gosh, I want John's fishing shanty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Those. Is it weird? Is this a sign of us getting older that I've never wanted to ice fish in my entire life until now? All of a sudden,
I'm going next year.
what?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wait, next year?
Yeah,
Like in the new year,
Yeah,
or like 2
2023.
winters from now?
2023.
Okay, so like early 2023.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: do you like the idea of this whole solo? I like how each of their little shanties is like they're recluse, like they each have their like. Walter Matthau watches hockey on a grainy television.
Dude, it's literally old time hockey.
Dude, this is old time
Yes.
hockey.
Yeah. Yes.
And you get your own little old time hockey shanty.
Yeah.
That's what Max's thing.
Mhm.
He's like putting on records, watching the hockey game.
I love it, man.
No, Jack Lemmon's putting on records. Walter Matthau is watching.
Watching
Hockey.
Is that what's happening?
They each kind of have their own thing that
and
they like.
I assume it's like recorded hockey. Like it's not actually live.
I don't know,
I
dude.
mean, it could be that because
Looked
he's like,
fuzzy with the rabbit ears.
yeah.
I like to think that it was live.
Either way, it's charming.
Oh yeah.
I've never wanted to do that in my entire life until this rewatch.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now I'm like, this sounds fun.
I don't even really need to fish. To be
No,
honest.
I actually don't want to fish. I just want to sit in there
Yeah, I just want to sit
with a
there
little stove going
and like be cold but be like warm enough to be like just enjoy it and kick back with like coffee or cocoa and then
want it.
beers. That's what I'm fishing for. Like Max is later. Like caught one.
Speaking of when the Ariel arrives, I like when they're both like gawking at her, and as all the movers are moving her stuff into the house, there's that picture of Jesus, and Jacqueline's just like, Jesus! I love that moment.
It's pretty intense to think about Ariel. Like as a kid, you don't think much of it, but like she shows up just disrupting.
She's
life.
a whirlwind.
She is way too much to handle. And like if this person moved in my neighborhood, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
We need to get the HOA together.
We need to get on the Facebook page and be like, is anyone snowmobiling tonight?
Whoever's out there snowmobiling, there are regulations.
My child is trying to sleep.
I'm not gonna say it.
Please do.
No,
Also, is anybody else having internet problems? Did the snowmobiler hit the box? That's what it would be. Blame the internet on the snowmobilers.
Oh my god. Speaking of HOAs and homeowner,
Yeah.
this is a lesson to all you people out there who live in colder weather climates where maybe the temperatures dip below 30 degrees, below freezing, which is actually 32 degrees, which is actually 0 degrees Celsius. That was the lesson. No, I'm just joking. Never ever leave your hose bib, like an outdoor hose plugged in to the bib, and then don't use it, even if it is plugged in.
Awful.
Yes.
Just don't do that. That's not correct in this movie.
Yeah.
He's got basement flooding issues right now.
Yeah, he's going through something like
He's
his
going through
property
something.
value just went down.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In fact, this is the point of time to you that are listening to this. Unplug your hoses.
Yeah, don't.
I'm telling you right now.
And do your best not to use a hose during this time. Okay, don't use one.
Just letting you know, guys.
Yeah.
So is this where she comes into his house?
She basically just shows up.
She just shows up into his house and is like like you can tell a lot about a person when by the shape of their bathroom. Is like I'm so glad that every time like I had a woman come over to my
was coming?
I knew she was coming, and so I cleaned the fuck out of that thing, because if she saw that if she just came in randomly like this woman, it'd be bad.
Is this every man's like single man's nightmare?
Yeah, and he's like,
right?
use the downstairs
The
one.
down
No,
one.
I have a guest one, aka I don't shit there.
Yeah.
And like so that, you know, because if she's going up, she's like, oh yeah, you can tell more from like, you know, from a bathroom than reading the poems. Like, yeah, all you got to do is read the rings on the toilet.
Exactly.
And that's how you find out about this man.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's like an old tree.
He just has it. Yeah, it's the older the tree, the older the log. You know, that's how you know. With this toilet.
We're having fun.
Oh, we're having a good time.
I told you, man.
Well, and this, like, imagine that dude shits because he's just eating spam.
Yeah,
a whole can of spam.
I thought it was even a little bit better. I thought it was maybe just a spam sandwich. I'm pretty sure that went on to just a cutting board.
Just a log, and he just sliced it up.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I haven't been there.
Yeah.
But I have been there.
Hey, you know,
And my shits were terrible.
they came out like they came out of the can. That's basic. They came out of the can, and then they went into the can, and then there's the rings you got to read.
Yeah.
It's like reading tea leaves in somebody's bowl.
Yeah. Whereas the
You're not reading tea leaves, you're reading spam leavings. That's what
spam
you do.
is like ham colored, but when it comes back out, it is graveyard colored.
Yes, exactly. See what I mean?
Oh my God, this movie. Here's where I have an issue with this movie is that it was made in the early 90s. And the early 90s is so fucking basic. And there are so many things that happen in the 90s that they're like, well, we have to do that in our movie too.
Yep.
And that is an I'm Too Sexy montage.
Oh, thank God.
Why does this movie, like every other movie in the early 90s, have to have an I'm Too Sexy or an I Want Candy montage?
Because
is that a prerequisite of the Actors Guild from the early 90s?
It was a selfish time, man. You know?
I was like,
I want candy. I'm too sexy.
I'm like, I like the vibe of this movie. Like ice fishing, two old men who are grumpy at each other, and then Not Too Sexy comes on, or Too Sexy for My Shirt comes on, and I'm
Not
just like,
said Fred, Too Sexy. Yeah,
I just fucking Christ.
I agree. I felt the same way, dude. Why?
I don't like it.
Why?
It's you're right. It's I want candy, or if you need a montage, like, is that just like stock montage music?
I think so. I think it's on Google stock music.
Right said Fred, and whoever wrote I Want Candy, no one cares. Basically just said, you know what, forever it will cost you let's call it a cool $1,000 to put our song in a movie.
Yep.
Like
honestly though,
like let's just call it that.
Honestly,
Call it a cool thou.
Like those might be one hit wonders, and like if only any musician just wants a one hit wonder, because I'm sure if that's true, they got paid millions, and they're just sitting on that. Sitting on like any time that movie uses something like that.
Oh yeah.
You know.
By the way, can we talk about how many laws Ariel's broken in this movie?
Please.
Though there's, John is right. She stole mail. She stole mail.
Federal offense.
That is a federal offense.
Felony offense.
Felony offense. Tampering with someone's mailbox is a felony offense. And
you broke it, didn't you?
You broke it, didn't you?
I paid for the beer, man.
I paid for the beer, man. Just go. Just go, man.
Sorry, movie crossover.
This is okay. So can we get the car from Out Cold? The guys from Dazed and Confused driving it through the neighborhood of grumpy old men.
Yeah, we can do that.
Can we just get that all
We
put
can do
together?
it. Don't
Please
worry.
and thank you. All right,
You got it, man.
but no, and then she's stolen mail. She's also breaking and entering how many times?
Yeah.
At least once or twice.
I'm just saying. And she's brandishing weapons at one point or another. She's breaking noise ordinances.
Yep.
Definitely with that.
Doesn't have a flag on the back or a headlight on the back of that snowmobile.
Not at all.
Nope.
So I think
that ain't legal either.
I mean we've already hit 3. And that's not counting how many offenses of each individual one.
Yeah, but she's hot.
2 counts of but she's hot. Yeah, but it's Anne Margaret.
She's hot. She's got one name, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, the hyphenated. Is that just her married names or something?
We don't know.
Margaret and Margaret.
I
Margaret and Margaret.
I gotta say, man, like. I can be charmed, but at this point, she's way too fucking much for me.
I think
that right?
I think we're all agreeing on that. I think for the most part, most people are just like, "Whoa,
whoa!" Like she comes into the pharmacy when both of them are in there, and I gotta imagine it's like 7 a.m. It's like, how are you this fucking peppy? Will you tone it down? Like, if someone's talking way too loud in the morning, I'm like, I haven't had my 8 cups of coffee before I can handle this.
I'm dealing with my ailments.
Yeah,
and I've already vocalized.
I need my ointments.
And now think if you're the other woman at the pharmacy, who's like behind the counter.
Dude,
that's funny.
And she's just getting like straight up walled off from this conversation.
She said bye to everyone, but not her.
Yeah, she didn't throw up deuces to that other girl. She just she just made sure all the men watched her sashay out of there.
And that's how HOA started.
And that's how. And that right there.
Think we got another tough issue here. We're talking about Mel. We're learning some very underlying terrible things that happened to Mel during her childhood that we just gloss over. We think it's funny. Mel talks about how a dude locked her in a treehouse as a kid, and we don't know what happened beyond that. And then she's talking about how Jacob's spying on her through the window anytime she's in a room changing.
Yeah.
Dude, she was pulling a Lorraine. Base.
Was she?
Okay. She was she
totally.
said she was pulling a Lorraine. No, well, why'd you think it was like they were always open? Just to mess with you.
Why do you think I went up in that treehouse?
Yeah. Well,
I'm surprised you weren't in the tree right in front of my house.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Jacob's up in the
like McFly, yeah.
like hey, McFly. No, but you're right though, and apparently it wasn't like always a great thing. You know, John is obviously dealing with some of his own demons in this too. He mentions when she comes over the first time, I think, if we're there. Are we there yet?
What are we talking about? So no, it says Ariel's already been over to John's house the first time.
Okay.
We've not gotten to coitus uninterruptus.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Coitus interruptus.
I can't wait.
Coitus uninterruptus.
Uninterruptus.
We will get there, dude. Fuck at it.
Yeah. So she hasn't gone and done the snow angels from the sauna yet.
Let's move on to scene 3,
Well,
and then you can start it off.
I want to talk about it a little bit more. Ossie Davis.
Okay.
I fucking love Ossie Davis as Chuck.
He's super charming.
Yes. One of my favorite actors to see just pop up in random things.
Yeah.
Especially like obviously going nostalgia wise when I'm like watching or rewatching a movie like Bubba Hotep. He's awesome, and Bubba Hotep is kind of a like an Elvis in a nursing home movie. It's super fucking awesome if you haven't seen it, and he's great in that. He plays Jack Kennedy, believe it or not.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Jack Kennedy.
It's super good, but I love him as Chuck, and I like the scene where they obviously see him go into Ariel's house, and then they rush over in the morning to his shop like they have to know, you know, and they're like, so how was the turkey at the VFW? You know, it's like that's the new code for how was fucking that new girl.
Yeah.
It was marvelous.
How was stuffing that turkey, huh?
Yeah.
In the new HOA.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Ossie Davis don't kiss
How
and
was
tell.
how was burying your boner?
Burying your boner. How was taking your log to the beaver?
Yeah.
It's like,
how was taking old One Eye to the
to
optometrist?
the optometrist.
Chuck is gonna take a ride on the wild baloney pony.
Baloney pony.
Have you mounted her yet?
Oh, Dad!
Dad. Mounted her.
Mount. Well, she got big thighs. Well, yeah. Well, no. Well, then what's the problem?
Times have changed. Anyway, scene 3. One evening, John and Ariel have sex, and a jealous Max drives John's fishing shanty onto thin ice. They get into a huge argument. Max's comments cause John to end his relationship with Ariel. I love Jack Lemmon. Something about his face. This is what talks about how good of an actor he is. Like when he's got like sort of that teary-eye look and like that sad face and then switches in between a smile. Jack Lemmon is a fantastic actor.
These are the kind of actors where you just put a camera on their face, and this is something like in the script that can't be written. Is like I noticed this especially after doing this podcast for 2 years now. Just like picking out an actor kind of like we do and just noticing that like the changes in people's faces, and Jack Lemmon is so good at that, and obviously so is Walter Matthau. But you can tell what someone's like. If you can tell what someone's thinking by just seeing a close up of their face, that is acting. And I don't know how the fuck you can teach that.
No,
I don't think you can. I think it's just something that, again, I think it's like there's some school of just where they were born into.
Yeah.
Not even that they came from. It's just that they were born into this, and that's why I associate like Bryan Cranston this way too, because he has these same mannerisms and these same like these energy bursts that he's like trying. It's almost like he's got so much energy he's trying to control it, and that's what Jack Lemmon does. And you're right. Like how do you go through like 5 emotions in a matter of 5 seconds?
Yeah,
you know, and Jack Lemmon can do that, and it's great.
Can Aaron Paul be Jacob in the remake?
Yes.
Can Steve Buscemi be the bait shop owner? Chuck?
Steve Buscemi?
Yeah.
If it's not that, then it's Danny Glover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, let's go proper.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
And
All right,
Danny
so
Glover.
it's Danny Glover?
Yeah.
I don't
Or
like that choice.
Wesley Snipes.
Oh.
I don't like old Danny Glover.
No one loves it.
No, I'm fine. I want to tell you why I don't like old Danny Glover. Like I watched Shooter the other day with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And like something's wrong with Danny Glover's like false teeth, and he talks
Yeah.
like it's kind of like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want that.
All right. Well,
Well,
let's just recast.
Mike, hang on.
Okay.
He's too old for this shit.
Will you just please? Maybe we should just restart all
Shaun,
together.
I like that joke.
We'll do grumpiest old men, and it'll be Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, and we'll just
Fuck yes. I like that.
And somehow they've reversed roles that now Danny Glover is Max, and he's the more disheveled one, and Mel Gibson's the more put together
Hang
slightly.
on. Can we get J.K. Simmons in here somehow?
J.K. Simmons?
I feel like he's good in this world.
Then if that's our new casting, then he is the bait shop owner.
Okay.
Boom.
All right, fine.
Or is he the IRS guy?
IRS.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, Buck Henry, I think is his name or something like that. But anyways, where the hell were we?
We got to talk about this argument that they have, because this is a slightly glossed over dialogue that happens here when they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Where you don't realize they're basically saying that like Max loved
May.
John's wife,
May.
and like John stole May from Max.
Yeah.
And that essentially John is talking shit about May, his wife, and like she wasn't that great.
She wasn't a prize.
She wasn't a prize, but then Max is not happy with his wife. He's like, well, whatever, my wife. No, he actually does love his wife. He's like, she was the best, but he's still so focused on May. It's
Right.
There's some deep-seated backlog going on here that we don't really get much of a deep dive into of what's going on here, other than this conversation.
Yeah. There's. Do you think it would have been fun, or do you think it would have been okay? This is a pretty fast movie, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean, what is it?
like hour and 40, but it's
99 minutes or something like
was
that.
Was it? Yeah.
Something around 99. Yeah, so about an hour 40.
Yeah.
It's I guess not fast, but not long. And so, do you think it would have been beneficial to have maybe any of those not flashbacks, but like callbacks to maybe some of their previous life together?
I can see that. I'm a big proponent of less is more in like these kinds of movies, and this is what the movie's about. Obviously, we have these 2 old men, and they have history. I like hinting at that history more than I do like actually showing it.
Yeah.
You know, and like we just got done saying, you can see all that history in a close up of them anyway. You know, and now that that
whole fight scene.
Now that they're hinting at that, every close up matters even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's to me anyway. But there's also like there could be a legacy prequel to this.
Yeah.
Like, and who would
with
be
the
in
people that we just cast.
There you go.
I mean,
the prequel.
Obviously,
thinking,
Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Yeah.
As the prequel in the official prequel.
Wait, what?
I think whoever sorry I'm forgetting his name, but Nick from New Girl.
Oh, Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson is Walter Matthau.
You're probably right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway,
I can't think of his counterpart at this point, but maybe I will. Yeah, it would almost be great to have, instead of taking it to almost grumpiest old men, maybe you take it to whatever comes before grumpy, right? Like disgruntled men. Disgruntled middle-aged men.
That's just incels. I don't like that.
Disgruntled.
Whoa.
It's like okay, so the guys with new girl but without the new girl. Okay, got it.
Got it.
It's like,
Disgruntled old man is American Psycho.
Right.
So in that question that you have, do you want that? Do you want more of the backstory ish, or what? What's your feeling?
I feel like it's just one of those creative choices that you have to make, and
Sure.
I'm completely fine with it. That's just a choice that has to be made. I like the idea of like almost the silent flashbacks kind of things, like that are like 5 seconds long, 10 seconds long, as they're reflecting on their life. Something along those lines that maybe plays a little bit more to it. But do I think it would? I guess the question is, would it add more emotional attachment for the audience?
Sure.
And I don't know the answer to that. So
Yeah, I just think it's interesting to note that I never realized that as a kid that's what they were talking about.
that's a good
Right.
point.
Yeah.
And I think that's as a kid. Again, I didn't really see it as a kid, but when you get to see it now, you certainly catch on to that more so than previously.
I will say during this argument as well, the whole say what,
Huh?
what, Like, you said what? Like that scene. I wanted more of that comedy.
Yes.
That because they did it just like they did it flawlessly. I want more of that ridiculous I guess it is kind of a like New Girl comedy where it's kind of a non sequitur comedy.
Yeah.
Like they're obviously this is the point they're having the fight, but then they have this other, tinge of a fight over here on the side.
Yeah.
I want more of that comedy in this. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. It's funny. Sometimes that scene in particular, it's like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Much like the bar scene later on. So.
Yeah, and
True.
you've got Burgess Meredith coming in. Kids can't live with them, can't shoot them. But it's even though they are all so old, they're still. This scene is him being a dad breaking up these two kids.
Yeah.
That he's probably done his entire life.
Yeah. Some things you just never grow out of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is like, I'm telling you, man, this maybe is where these movies hit you harder the older you get. When Burgess Meredith is talking to Jack Lemmon and he says that speech, I have it here, then one day you wake up and you realize that you're not 81 anymore. And then you begin to count the minutes rather than the days. And then you realize that pretty soon you'll be gone and that all you have, is the experiences. That's all there is, John. Everything. The experiences. You mount the woman, son. Or else you send her out to me. I fucking love that. That is my favorite moment of this movie.
You have that tattooed.
I do. It's on my
You were
back.
going to get that as we were in Oregon.
It's on my back.
It's on. I thought it was on your rib cage
No,
here. It's
no.
on your back.
No,
because you never look behind you.
Yeah, I have Bible verses
Okay.
on my ribcage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Veritas. And
that's on
Aquarius.
that's on my hands.
Aquarius Veritas, and then he's got.
No, I love that. I don't like it like a Parenthood. I didn't like that movie per se because I thought it was too wrought with all that bullshit, which I'm like I
the
get
roller
it.
coaster speech.
Yeah, I'm like I get it, man, and I relate to it obviously, and I know that's what you're doing. But in this, especially with Burgess Meredith saying it, Meredith Burgess.
You got it.
Especially with him saying it and then punctuating it with his character joke. Is like that's what Parenthood should have been, and that's what I want it to be more, but that's also what I want more of this movie to be.
Yeah.
Like I just said, like I want more of that non sequitur kind of, there is the point, and then I'm gonna make fun of the point that I just made. I want more of that.
Yeah, Jack Lemmon, John has another little moment that it's almost like he takes this and he kind of passes it down later on to Melanie. And I think we're probably moving in to that soon.
Scene 4, Jacob is elected mayor and Max continues courting Ariel. John is upset to learn that Melanie has reconciled with Mike. John and Max are unable to mend their dispute and John storms out of the bar. Max soon follows and finds John in the snow having suffered a heart attack. Can I ask you guys a question? How old do you think these actors were when they played these roles?
Wasn't Burgess Meredith's supposed to be like 89.
He was supposed to be 90, 89 or something like that. He was 86.
91.
91.
He's going to be 91.
86.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, then he was only 13 years older than Walter Matthau,
right,
and 17 years older than Jack Lemmon. Walter Matthau was 73. Jack Lemmon was 68.
Okay.
How old do you think Anne Margaret was? Because this is where
hard to tell, man.
So Jack Lemmon being 68, there's definitely a difference of age here. At some points you don't realize. At some points you're like, I think they even kind of hint at it. You know, no, she doesn't want an old guy like me.
Yeah.
You know? How old do you think she was? Like at least her real character self or her real person.
A real person like Anne Margaret.
Yeah.
55. I don't know.
That's my guess. Yeah.
52.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, she looks stunning for 52.
Oh my gosh.
And there definitely is a difference. They are definitely playing on that. Like this shouldn't be a relationship in theory, right? I mean, like
yeah.
And it does make sense.
16 years.
Is that like how old she is in the movie, or we're not really?
I
sure?
don't think we know.
We're just playing to that.
I think
something like
if
that.
they hint at it, I think probably right.
Okay.
If if they hint at like we should,
Oh yeah, like I'm too old for you, because that's what he says when he kind of like shoos her off, right?
That's a tough one.
That's a really hard scene to watch because, and it just again that scene also shows the depth of Max and John's relationship. It's like the like you said, the worst of friends or the best of enemies or something like that, right? And it is just so much that he is willing to forego this, and he thinks about his own situation. He's going through a tough time.
Oh, he's going through a real tough time.
And he thinks about this, and he's just like, you know what? I just need to, I should just let this go. What do I have to? They're right. He's right. Why am I dealing with this? What do I have to offer? And he shoos her off by saying like, I don't like you coming around here. I'm okay with being alone. And like I'm way too old for you. It's just it's kind of a heartbreaking scene.
It's the equivalent of ripping off a Band-Aid. Like he just goes for it.
He really does.
It hurts. So you can see it in her eyes too. She's just like, what?
She's very good. And speaking of on her a little bit more too, like the peppiness and the go-getterness of her, especially her being 55, which is young.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I just think she's the perfect kind of energy level for these two. You know, like she's the perfect hitch into their giddy up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the horse that they're going to tie their wagon to, right?
Hey, all right.
They could, right?
Yeah.
Let's play on that a little bit
more
guys.
metaphors.
Yeah. You guys like metaphors?
Yeah.
Here you go. God damn it. What was I going to say?
We sound old.
Sorry,
I was just going to you got to put a little bit more hitch in your giddy up, because otherwise you're just going to miss out. And
you know what we're doing now? Cooking with gas.
Yeah, right.
All
right. None of that charcoal. Anyways, no. What I was going to say is there is that moment too where Max comes flying in on the snowmobile with her, and you kind of think back to like when John did that and everything, and how it was like kind of the start of that of his youth coming back, or if that's the way you want to put it, right?
Sure.
And you kind of see how happy it makes Max though too, and then it kind of adds this heartbreaking. By the end of this movie, it starts to get kind of heartbreaking for Max, in my opinion.
I think the whole thing's heartbreaking for Max. We're learning that John essentially stole the love of his life.
God, yeah, you're right.
And now he can't. Now he's losing another girl that he is really interested in, both to John.
He says, "I can't." Yeah, and he even says, "Like I can't wait for another Amy. It's too, I'm too old." You know, the wife that he did. You know. Oh man, you're right.
Yeah, it starts to become lonely, grumpy old men. You know.
Yeah.
It is very sad to see, and like. You see this with like she moves on, quote unquote, like
I guess
so
like
quick.
Are they dating? We don't
like
really know.
She like obviously establishes that they're friends, and he's not that okay with it.
Yeah,
as we see, but still like I guess he ripped off the Band-Aid. Maybe not. That's her doing it now.
Right.
She's not doing it maliciously, I don't think. But yeah, it's still a little weird. Like there's some, but it also like calls into an account where like. This is young people problems, this happened to them when they were young. And then this has happened to me when when I was young, 31, this happened to me in like my 20s and shit, there was, like the whole triangle kind of thing, and I'm looking back on it now. It's just like, why the fuck did I even deem that any importance, but now this is happening. Like it just kind of shows where they want a little bit more pep to their life. I guess they want a little bit more company to their lives, but this is what they get out of it.
Yeah.
It calls into question for me anyway. That kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes. It's like this. It's kind of full circle.
Yeah.
And seeing especially as we've gotten to this point in the movie and everything of you're always looking back. You're always looking back. You're always yearning for the years prior, Shaun Pryor even, and and like I just think about like with John and everything, and after the whole fight that they have, and even before then, he's Jacob is like standing there with him, and they're watching. It's just like he's just sitting there like, I haven't had sex in 15 years. It's just like Pat's shoulder with strangely moisturized hand in the dominant hand that he has, and he's just like, oh my God! Like he just moved on from this part of his life that he tries to let go of. After we have to assume that that's at least how long his wife has maybe been gone, or and that you never really move past it until something else is going to bring you out of it, and it's pretty heartbreaking on all fronts. But I got to tell you, the best parts of this is when he tells off Shooter McGavin, and then he gets to walk down to Slippery's.
Yes.
That's got to be a core memory for him.
I love that, and I'm so glad that Slippery's is not a strip club, because that would be super fucking weird name for a strip club to have.
It's an actual bar in Wabasha.
That's what I heard.
Like,
yeah.
we could go to it. In fact,
I
Slippery's.
can't wait.
This is directly to you, Slippery's in Wabasha. We would like to come out and sit around in your bar this summer.
You got tap 2 kegs, because
Yes.
we're bringing Logan, we're bringing our whole team. So
We're just going to sit there and we're going to do grumpy
Yeah.
old men
Yeah.
inside of your
Oh,
bar.
We're just going to sit there, cross our arms, and drink. And be like, the youth these days.
And I'll the reason I came down here to see you is to tell you, because I wanted you to know.
Just tell him, you're so stubborn.
I just love that it's like it takes like 6 sentences.
Yeah.
That will be me when I'm older.
Yes.
It's going to take 6 sentences for me to actually make a fucking point,
Or an apology.
Or an apology.
Or thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you know the reason, like, they don't touch on this. This was in the script, but they didn't really do it in the movie. The original script was that, the reason why Mike and Melanie were not getting along at that point? It's because Mike was chasing his dream of being a pro golfer. And so he was spending all of his time out on the course, learning how to golf. And he just really wasn't spending time at home. And, like, she didn't think he had a future golfing. But he's like, no, I do. Like, I am a good golfer. Yeah. I just need to spend as much time as I can on the course.
No kidding.
And so, I think they finally break it off. And then about a year later, he has his major breakthrough and decides to change his name to Shooter.
Yeah.
Mike McGavin.
He moves out a little bit more east.
Yep.
Actually.
He moves to Waterbury, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around Waterbury. Yeah.
Finds success, a little bit too much success, you could say.
Yeah, and then
too fast.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Mike Shooter McGavin is born.
Yeah, his nickname's always been Shooter. He just went by Mike.
Right.
It was family.
In his family.
Professional name. Yeah.
You can't, like, if you're dating someone, you can't get the in-laws to call you Shooter.
No.
Like, you got to go by your first name.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't give yourself a nickname.
No.
Unless you get paid for it.
Unless it's squirrely. Like me in the marching band.
Well done, dude. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, before
just like that green jacket, he still couldn't find a bottle opener, right? Am I right, guys? Let's cut that joke out. All right.
No. Before we move on, though, this is a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah.
The when he finds him
Oh my
keeled
gosh.
over from the heart attack, you're just like, oh my God. I hate this scene. It's so sad.
Is this also the scene where he visits him in the hospital? Or is that
Not yet.
Okay.
This is him finding him and asking for help.
You never want to see an old man go down. Like that's just the hard truth.
Alone
Exactly.
too. Like his
In
whole
the snow.
the issue of this is that they are all alone right now.
Yeah.
And now he's going to die in the snow outside of a house of people celebrating for Christmas.
Yes. A full house celebration, family, we assume family celebration, what have you, of Christmas on Christmas Eve, and he just goes down in the snow, and you see, it's another thing about these two together, you really see the concern in Walter Matthau's like face.
Now that things are real, there's where their friendship lies.
Exactly. You know, you can be upset with somebody all day, but it's like, hey, you're not supposed to die before I do. They're basically like an old married couple.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he runs up to him, and I love that line. It's like, I don't want to die. The last thing looking at your face.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, I don't want to die looking at your face.
Looking
Like,
at your
it's
old-
a double-sided thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to die. I really don't want to die yet. Also, I don't want to die looking at your
Well,
face.
Looking at your
it's,
face.
it's the thing. Like that's the one as he's saying like I don't want to look at your face while I die. It's like the burden, like because they don't want one to die before the other. It's the burden that they'll have to carry. You know, not necessarily the burden that they're dead, but the burden that like they got to go before they did.
And then the even more eternal loneliness that will be that now they know they don't have each other anymore.
Right.
Even though they hate each other, they don't have each other.
Yeah, because there's always that underlying thing that you'll always find something to complain about, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how happy your life gets, it seems like you can almost there's a point of your life that is so happy because you have one, even if it's so small, something to complain about. And if you can complain about something, it can brighten you up a little bit because it's almost therapeutic. And these guys, that has become such a major part of their lives, is the fact that they have each other to complain about. And if I lose you, what the hell am I going to complain about?
Yeah.
And it's
Like,
beautiful and sad at the
You're
same
right.
moment.
It's like how old are they? Like, and if I don't have you, who else am I gonna unload on? You know, who else am I gonna have to get out all my grievances on? You know,
Correct.
I like that sentiment a lot.
Yeah.
So scene 5, Max brings Ariel to reconcile with John. While he recovers in the hospital, Max and Jacob work on resolving John's debt. Spring arrives and John and Ariel get married. As a wedding gift, Max informs John that he and Jacob have paid off the debt. Max leaves to find a date of his own as Jacob and an officially divorced Melanie begin a new romance with each other.
If we were on a train to go punch a face, I'm on board.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jack Lemmon. I'm joking. There is no punchable faces in this movie other than, it's not even Shooter McGavin. It is the IRS agent.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That is the only, I mean, we just got to get out of the way. That's the punchable face. Especially, he's not so bad in the beginning. He's like just doing his job, but towards the end, like that job becomes a lot more resentful.
I'm sorry if you are an IRS agent out there and that's your job, but you chose to be a masochist, and that's on fucking you. You deserve to be fucking punched for choosing this job.
We can't humanize the goons here. We can't humanize somebody for just doing
we're
their
not
job.
humanizing government workers.
Oh, wow.
No, they're not human.
I was going to try at least a little. Think about this. He's got to go out there, as he says, every couple of days. He has to drive out. We don't even know where his office is at.
No clue. Probably Milwaukee.
He has to drive out to the suburb, small town, whatever it happens to be, Wabasha, and go out to this house and knock and drop off the same letter every single 3 days.
You know what?
Yo.
You know what the definition of psychopath is?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doing the same thing and not getting the same result every time.
When you're right, you're right. But I'm
American
just saying,
Psycho.
aren't you going to resent the person at least a little bit who keeps putting you through this?
Yeah, like you're finally getting your payoff moment.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for years. And
Yeah.
you finally got this guy.
You know that he's there. And then, by the way, he blows you off again when you actually set an appointment with him. But he's off gallivanting around on a snowmobile with some minx.
But when he finally gets caught, he goes, "Come with me," and he gets in a car with him. But then he has to take a cab home.
Exactly.
So I'm not feeling it. I'm
Okay.
not humanizing this.
We're not going to humanize this.
I'm not
goon.
humanizing this goon.
No.
There you go.
There's no humanity.
Get on out of here.
This is where I can't decide if I like this movie or not, because the second one does the exact same thing, where this movie's sort of resolved, and then all of a sudden we're like 6 months in the future. I watched the second one today too, and it does the same thing where you're like, and then you're kind of going, who's getting married and what's going on here? It skips so much moments of things that are happening, and it just goes to the payoff of the end. They're getting married, and oh look, they're getting married, and it's great. I still can't decide if I like that or not.
Did it have you fooled? Can I ask you that?
Yes. The first time I saw it, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Who's doing this?
Yeah.
So I think that was probably the point, right?
Yeah.
Who's actually getting married here? No, because it was a funeral.
That's what I mean.
It was a funeral, right?
Right.
Like they thought it was a funeral.
Like, who wears a bow tie to a funeral?
Because that was the thing, and even at one point, my wife walked in and she's like, "Oh wait, who died?" Because she had been watching it intermittently, like as I've been watching it a few times. She was catching pieces and parts, and then like she walked in at the end of it this last time, and she's like, "Well, wait, who died?" And I was like, well, do you remember, you know, and just buying time with silence, and just be like, you know, because, well, and then he takes off his jacket and he's in a tux, you know, and then you see them all there,
yeah, exactly.
Because everybody's crying, like
I know,
it looks like a hearse, not
crying.
a
Dude, and speaking of crying, before this, like I said, kind of towards the beginning, where I don't want to see any old man cry, but Walter Matthau looks like a sad basset hound when he cries, and I can't take it. You know, it's just like a droopy eyes and everything when he's like looking at John in the hospital bed.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
Well, the moment when he walks in and he's like, John Gustafson, and she goes, family or friend, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
She goes, are you a family or a friend? And he's just like, I'm both. You know, like that was his realization. Is like, I'm both.
Yeah,
like,
it's exactly. He doesn't know what to say because he's never thought of himself as a friend, or well, at least not in a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never thought of himself as a friend of John, right? But then when it comes down to it, and they ask you, are you family or a friend, you have to make a decision, because if you say, I'm not, I'm neither, I'm his neighbor or something like that, then they're not letting you in, you know, and he's like, I'm a friend. I'm a friend. But he just looks so, and to the fact that the staff is kind of blowing him off too, that's also a really hard thing to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I think that happens like all too often in society, just in our world of just, you know, whatever you want is not important, old person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, it's really sad. He's just getting waved off the whole time.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I guess, you know, I don't know if you guys knew this though, but Walter Matthau's character Max actually has a righteous set of tools that he used to repair TVs with.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that he is just Spicoli's dad that we were talking about.
Yeah.
He knows all about TVs. He used to be a TV repairman, and he's got a wicked set of tools that he can go back and fix that TV.
Is Spicoli disowned at this point?
I think
assuming
so.
That's why we're not talking about
it.
That's
California.
Right.
He's like he's not spending his, like, he's a surfer. He's not cruising the Nar as in the powder. He's cruising the Nar in water form.
He just couldn't take it being there in Wabasha and trying to go ice fishing all the time. He was too cooped up. He'd rather be surfing waves, not drilling through them, and he had to get out of there, bro.
And fishing for babes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's just what it is.
I like it.
Okay?
This is the first movie that I can remember that had funny outtakes.
Yeah.
And this still makes me smile and laugh.
I love
watching these outtakes. Did you stick around to the very end?
Yes.
Because I had never seen that before. If you haven't seen it all the way at the very end, it goes through the compilation of outtakes and then it goes to the credits. But at the very end, it says it's Walter Matthau in a tub. And he goes, if I knew there was a nude scene, I would have asked for another $1 million. And it's like he's like scrubbing his back or something like that in a tub.
It's another just I'm this old and there's no shame anymore in my life. Like, and I'm happy to do it, like, for the payoff.
And I can't wait to get to that point, man.
I know.
Well, you guys got anything else you want to talk about in this movie?
No.
We have dissected it with a modern eye. We stripped away the nostalgia. AJ, you'd never seen this before. What is your modern day rating on this movie?
It's surprising how much fun I had watching this movie. My first watch of this, I was like, okay, I got to try and make it through this. I threw on the subtitles. I had it playing, and I really I found myself getting drawn back in. And we've talked about some movies like this before. This is I feel like this is a hangout movie of older folks, you know? of older
not
guys.
As cool, but like
it might not
cool.
be, but it's the way that they hang out. It's
Cool.
it's. I'm not saying it's the dazed and confused of 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. You guys let us know. But here's the thing:
Chasing the muff around.
Brooklyn. But no, I think, but I really did have a good time, and it's one of those things. It did finally kind of pay. There was some payoff to it, but at the same time, it's really just watching these guys on this block interact and how it gets kind of changed upside down on them, right? So I did really enjoy it. I thought it was very funny. I love Jack Lemmon. He's probably one of my all-times. Walter Matthau is definitely up there as well. And I think that throughout the casting, the jokes are there. Everything's very funny. Nothing sends me over the top, right? So that being said, I don't think I can give it more than a 7.3.
7.3, Shaun. How about you?
Yes. I like back in the day. Like AJ said, and I said in the beginning of this was like I want to watch Ed, and Eddie, and I do believe that without Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, and Burgess Meredith, and
Meredith Burgess,
and Margaret, and Chris McDonald, that this wouldn't be a good movie. I wouldn't want to watch this ever. And when I got done with this for the rewatch, I was like, I probably won't ever watch that movie again, and maybe I won't. But I liked talking about it more than I did watching it. I think I had a better time with you fellas discussing it than I did watching it. I think it's like I said, comparing it to Parenthood, I get the message, I get everything, but it is also amplified by the performers in it. I do have to say, if you are a fan of Walter Matthau, a younger performance of him in the 70s movie called Charlie Varick. It's a bank robber movie gone wrong, and it also has Jodan Baker. Can't go wrong with it. It's a fucking masterpiece. My favorite Walter Matthau performance. But I'm going to have to give this I'm a 5.95.
5.95 for the Shauner. I'm kind of right in the middle of you guys. Like, nostalgically, I really love the memories of watching this movie, probably more than I like the movie. The early 90s cliches really hurt this. Really hurt this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, cool. No, if you took Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon out of this movie, my God, even if you just pulled Burgess Meredith out of it, like you're just with each actor you take out of this movie, you're pulling it down like a whole point, if not more. So I really love the message of stop being lonely. Like have people around in your life. Get out of your routine. Have friends. Those are the things that make life worth it. The experiences are all that life is about, and I will stand by that forever. Like us just taking our trip out there, like.
I won't forget that.
Literally, we'll never forget that because that is literally all we have. We won't remember the money we spent to get out there, but we'll remember the time we had when we were out there. So I love the message. I'm going to call it a 6.81 is what I'm going to call it. So that takes us to a 6.69 for a modern day rating. It's not great, but it's okay. That's going to put it at number 54. That is slightly better than Cool Runnings and slightly below Parenthood.
I'm okay with that.
I might have brought Parenthood up from my final vote compared to that. So it goes Parenthood, Grumpy Old Men, Cool Runnings.
That needs to be reversed.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if we're going to have a segment coming up where we'll actually be able to change things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great. That's where I would want this movie in our oeuvre.
It's about the middle of the pack of any movie we've done so far.
Fair. That's fair.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for being here. A bunch of great movies coming out. We got a bonus episode on Monday that is beyond special. You're not going to want to miss this. Followed by Blues Brothers. Cannot wait to talk about that. And then we kind of messed up the order in the past weeks, but then we will finally be getting to Kindergarten Cop. We've been talking about it for a while. Once you hear our bonus episode on Monday, you'll understand more about Kindergarten Cop.
I forgot we even recorded that.
How could you?
How could you ever forget that?
How could you forget that experience?
Because the experience did it clouded work. That's work.
Wow, dude.
And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles,
the
quintessential Thanksgiving movie. This Grumpy Old Man was great because this is getting me in the holiday spirit. This is a overarching holiday movie. Like this goes through Thanksgiving into Christmas. And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, in my opinion, is the quintessential Thanksgiving movie. You need to watch it this year if you haven't seen it in a long time.
We need to revisit John Candy too. He's come back.
And don't forget, we have a voicemail. Call us at 319-804-9596. Leave us some feedback. Here is today's voicemail.
Hey, it's Michael. I recently turned on Two Guys podcast thanks to Bert Kreischer. I love it. I've literally listened to 80% of your podcast and love everyone. Thank you for doing Hook. That's probably my favorite one so far.
Hell yeah.
So you guys mention it like every other podcast. Why haven't you done it? You guys need to do The Room by the infamous Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Then you could have the competition of what has more name calling, The Lost Boys with Michael, or The Room with Mark.
Yes.
Just a thought.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Love you guys. Keep up the great work. And every podcast brings me back to my childhood. So you are definitely accomplishing your goals. Thank you guys. Keep up the good work. Bye.
Damn right. I love it, man.
Thanks so much for calling in, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I hope to God.
What year was The Room?
That's like, I want to say early 2000s maybe.
Okay, because we officially, you may not know this, we said that we say early 2000s, 2007
That's the cutoff.
is apparently our cutoff at this point. Now, we have ventured below 1980. We did summer of 70s, so it's not out of the remit.
2003.
It fits in there. Well within, man.
He's with us all the time.
Yeah, he's watching over us all the time up here, if you can't tell.
I really want to get to that. I think that there's something to be said about movies like that if they are technically bad, it doesn't mean that they are bad movies. If it's extremely entertaining, like The Room is.
Three Ninjas?
Yeah.
Great podcast episode.
Yeah.
Shitty movie.
made for a wonderful episode. I would love to just tear other things apart like we did Three Ninjas.
We need a new Three Ninjas.
We do.
So let's do The Room.
Can't wait.
Let's put it on let's put it on the calendar.
Yeah, we'll get there. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you're watching, that's even better on YouTube. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you're leaving a 5-star review wherever you can. That's on Spotify now, but you can also write us a review on Apple Podcasts. We love reading through them so much. And find us on social media at Confused Breakfast, anywhere on that social meds, bruh.
Yeah, dude. Go to confusedbreakfast.com to get any merch you would like. Confused Breakfast shirts, little sayings that we have. Ratings on website is what I just read on Mike's phone. So
I was trying to give Shaun a new fun thing to say at the end.
Go check out the ratings on our website. And buy merch.
I'm really sorry, Shaun.
Like, I can read cue cards, but it's hard for me, even with my Felix Grays on.
Look at this phone.
Look
at this photo.
What's that say? I don't have my cheaters on.
It's literally
What's
just a photo of your balls I just saw.
Shaun, I'm so sorry I screwed your segment. Basically, what Shaun's trying to say, go to confusedbreakfast.com, and we have ratings of all the movies we've done. You can always still sign up at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast to join us, support us, and get all the bonus content. This show is produced by LAS Media Group here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They do all our amazing stuff for us. We got Logan in the room. It feels good to be back in our studio.
You bet.
Learn more about them at lasmediagroup.com. That's it for us. Goodbye.
Deuces.